From a crocodile getting thrown around by a hippo to enormous murder hornets going after honeybees, the animal kingdom is a very tough place. Here are 10 examples of animals that hate each other. Crocodiles and hippopotamuses. One of the oldest rivalries in Africa is between the Nile crocodile and the hippopotamus. Yes, hippos are often portrayed in movies as being adorable, docile creatures. However, hippopotamuses are the most aggressive animals in Africa. In fact, crocodiles don't really stand a chance in a fight against hippopotamuses. Hippopotamuses are mean, cranky, and extremely deadly. They can capsize boats, they can kill a human with a single bite, and they can throw around crocodiles like your dog throws around a small chew toy. In the wild, crocodiles tend to stay clear from their hippo enemies. Some deep instinctual knowledge inside of the crocodiles keeps them away from hippos, especially from other hippos. These pinkish beasts may look small when only their ears are flapping above the water, but a hippo outside the water is like the size of a rhino. It has a huge mouth that can clamp over the entire backside of an alligator and throw it around like a grown man with a baby. Because these animals typically share the same habitat and hang out in the same watering holes, there is kind of a mutual agreement between them in which the crocodiles keep their distance. At the watering hole, the hippopotamus is king. Hyenas and Lions. Everyone knows that lions and hyenas have been fighting ever since the dawn of time. This was immortalized in the original Lion King movie. But the very real grudge between lions and hyenas is hardly fiction. Both these animals inhabit the same desert regions in Africa, and both of them are insatiably hungry. While lions are obviously much stronger than hyenas, that does not stop the savage packs of hyenas from endlessly tormenting lions out on the savannah. It's true that hyenas are scavengers, but they're also hunters. And much in the same way that lions are hunters, they can also be scavengers. Both animals will eat anything that is readily available, and while lions don't typically hunt hyenas because they are too fast and wily, when push comes to shove, hyenas have been known to try and attack lions, or to at least steal whatever meal the lions have already earned for themselves. If a pride of lions faces off against a pack of hyenas, the lions will inevitably win, but if a lone lion finds himself surrounded by a dozen hyenas, he could be in serious trouble. And now for number 8, but let us know what you think the worst animal rivalry is, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Sperm whale and giant squid. There is a hateful rivalry going on thousands of feet beneath the surface of the ocean between two of the world's largest animals. I'm talking about the sperm whale and the giant squid, both of which can be found over 6,000 feet deep in the ocean. Sperm whales are extremely heavy, some of them weighing almost 100,000 pounds. A male sperm whale with a total length of about 58 feet are typical in many of the world's oceans, and they have a hate on for giant squids. Giant squids are roughly the same length as sperm whales, growing to be around 59 feet in length. They are also one of the most elusive animals in the world. No one had seen a giant squid alive until a Japanese scientist captured a photo of one in 2005 at a depth of about 2,900 feet. However, these squids tend to live in the deepest parts of the ocean where sperm whales are known to dive. While nobody has actually seen these two giants of the deep going at it, many sperm whales are found with scars that could only have been caused from the dangerous suckers on a giant squid's tentacles. Plus, sperm whales have been found with indigestible beaks and other parts of giant squids inside their stomachs after death. This means sperm whales must be down there hunting giant squid, and the giant squid are fighting back. Dogs and cats. This one hardly even needs to be mentioned. However, it is the oldest animal rivalry we have, and it should definitely be discussed. Cats and dogs have hated each other since the beginning of time. But that said, do cats and dogs really hate each other so much, or is it all because of films and TV? The truth is that it comes down to a territorial thing. Dogs are incredibly defensive of their territory, and cats often encroach on the territory of a dog. This is why you always see dogs chasing away cats and not the other way around. When raised together, cats and dogs can actually become the best of friends, but when a stray dog or a stray cat invades the other one's territory, it becomes an all-out war of hate. Polar bear and walrus. Two animals that seriously hate each other are walruses and polar bears. This is mainly because of climate change and the effect it's having on the Arctic regions. With ice melting and food becoming scarce, polar bears have gotten desperate, and while walruses might have been safe from polar bears before because of their huge tusks and imposing size, that is no longer the case, especially since walruses are gradually being forced into huge groups due to the lack of space. A recent bloodbath shows just how much walruses and polar bears hate each other. Back in 2007, a group of polar bears killed hundreds of walruses by driving them off of a cliff. Think about the Native Americans driving buffalo off cliffs by the hundreds, yeah? Well, polar bears have done the same thing with walruses. This happened in Siberia, and a report by the Siberian Times claims that hundreds of walruses were slaughtered near a small northern village by only 20 polar bears. Apparently, the arrival of polar bears caused a whole group of walruses to panic, and in their attempt to flee, several hundred of them fell to their death off of some cliffs. Easy pickings for the hungry polar bears. Seals and penguins. Seals and penguins absolutely hate each other. However, it might be a little more accurate to say that penguins hate seals with everything in their little penguin bodies. Specifically, we are talking about the king penguin and the fur seal. Seals are extremely aggressive, they have been known to attack and eat penguins as easy prey, and more recently, seals have been spotted sexually assaulting penguins. If that isn't enough to inspire hate, I don't know what is. According to the claims of researchers in an article by CBS News, there are particular seals without a typical harem of female mates who are purposely targeting penguins for their deranged attacks. According to the researchers who have witnessed these vicious attacks, the seals involved were doing it simply out of malice. One of the researchers claimed that the expression the seal had on its face made it seem like the seal was doing it just for fun. The worst part about this rivalry is that the poor penguins have no chance of fighting back against the hateful seals. They are poor victims without sharp teeth and fat bodies to fight back with. Mongoose and cobras. Surprisingly, this may be one of the most hateful relationships on the planet. Mongooses and snakes have hated each other forever. These are two animals that have been fighting for thousands of years all the way across ancient Egypt and into modern society. Interestingly enough, in the ancient Egyptian and Indian civilizations, cobras were feared and worshipped as venomous deities, and mongooses were even more revered because of their efficiency at killing these venomous snakes. This is another one of those lopsided relationships, seeing as cobras have no interest in eating mongooses, but mongooses can and do eat cobras and other venomous snakes all the time. Not even the cobra's venom can stop a hungry mongoose. Mongooses are too agile, their fur coats are too thick, and they have special receptors in their bodies that make them immune to snake venom. This is why mongooses have been used for hundreds of years to get rid of snake infestations. Mongooses are to cobras and other snakes what cats are to rats. Exterminators! And cobras hate them for it. Honeybees and Asian Giant Hornets. People are often very scared of the average bumblebee. However, there's absolutely no need to be scared of these cute and harmless insects. Normal bees are extremely peaceful and humble creatures who just want a bit of nectar. However, honeybees have a new and fearless nemesis. Asian giant hornets have made their way to North America, and they're being nicknamed murder hornets. Not surprisingly, honeybees absolutely hate these horrible monsters. Murder hornets have been literally slaughtering full colonies of honeybees on a scale not even humans could replicate. Murder hornets are also dangerous enough to kill humans and have been linked to several human deaths each year according to Global News. The Asian giant hornet is the biggest and the meanest hornet in the entire world. It's about the size of a AA battery, and it has an extremely toxic stinger along with an armored body. But don't worry, it does not simply sting honeybees. The Asian giant hornet typically enjoys biting the heads off them. This is like when a less developed civilization is invaded by space aliens with laser weapons. The honeybees simply do not have a chance. This is a case of weak versus strong, and for whatever reason, the Asian murder hornets seem bent on eradicating the honeybee from the earth. Elephants and rhinoceroses. Elephants, the wisest animals in the animal kingdom, the gentle giants with impressive memories, the watermelon-eating friends that spray you with water from their trunks, these animals are hateful killers. That's right, elephants are murderers. Particularly, they are rhino murderers. Elephants absolutely hate rhinos. They hate them with a passion, so much so that there was a killing spree back in the 90s in South Africa. Rogue murderous elephants were impaling rhinos with their tusks, flattening them with their huge feet, and just basically causing mayhem. In just 3 months, these murderous elephants had killed about 10 rhinos. Usually, elephants only kill a rhinoceros if they feel that the rhino is threatening their young, but this was a bizarre case of behavior gone wrong. The murderers were eventually apprehended and put down. It turned out that 3 juvenile elephants without a patriarch or a leader had been forced out of their group and left to their own devices. Basically, these 3 teenage elephants became delinquents just like human teenagers, and they took their teenage angst out on rhinos in a bloody murder spree. Pumas versus bears and wolves. Last on the list for today is a hate triangle. It's no secret that bears and wolves have a pretty sour relationship, with wolves often attacking bears in packs and trying to eat their cubs. But what about pumas? Nobody ever talks about pumas, but these giant North American cats are at the losing end of bears and wolves. Pumas may be apex predators, but when their territory overlaps with wolf territory or bear territory, things can go sour very quickly. Pumas typically lose out on all of their meals to wolves, and so pumas obviously hate wolves, but for whatever reason, wolves hate pumas too. Wolves have been known to not only hunt and kill pumas, but to bully them. The problem is that pumas hunt alone and wolves hunt in packs, so pumas are always outnumbered, and when it comes to bears, pumas simply don't have enough strength to fight them. Even when a puma manages to kill something, bears will often come along and bully the puma out of their food. This has created something of a hate triangle, with wolves and bears essentially ganging up to bully the poor lonely puma. Which of these animal rivalries is the most shocking to you? Tell me in the comments below, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon for another amazing video.